Luna Ascending by Zaina Wilder. Copyright Zaina Wilder 2024. All rights reserved. Chapter 16. Freya. "But are you happy?" Liz demands, stamping her foot on the creaking oak floor of our favourite bookstore and cafe. "Yes, of course," I snap, pissed off that my much-missed best and only friend can't seem to be pleased for me. What the hell else could anyone want in a man? Handsome, a body to die for, intelligent, loaded, and a family of aristocrats. I grumble on, ignoring Liz's arched eyebrow. It's a fairy tale for someone who grew up like I did, flitting from one decaying council house to the next, with a mum so sloshed she forgot I was there half the time, and a stepdad who would rather mum had no kids at all. Liz looks contrite, but I plough on. Now that I've started, my tongue won't stop. "You've not lived my life. The choice was light or heating. We nursed our electricity meter through each day. Us kids, we were the ones that topped it up with money from our Saturday jobs if Mom didn't drink that away. I was that dirty, smelly kid in school. You know, the one no one wants to be friends with? There was no hot water to wash when I grew up, Liz." I catch my breath. I live my adult life estranged from the only family I have simply because I hold down a job and pay my rent. They resent it. They assume I think I'm better than them. It only got worse when I took on my stepdad's debt. He hates me for it, and fuck knows why, but the rest do too. "I'm sorry, Freya, I didn't mean to upset you." I start to sob, stopping only because I've run out of breath, and because Liz is choking me in a massive hug. "It's my chance, Liz," I hiccup. "It's my chance to get out." "But darling, you were already out, Freya. You were doing it by yourself. You know you were." Liz starts, before thinking better of it. To my relief, she clamps her jaw shut on her opinions of Marcel, as she calls him, and just concentrates on cheering me the hell up. Hot chocolate, books, and mundane chatter about her romantic antics feature highly in the next half hour. Her change of tack is a relief, but hell, I'm cross with her and cross with myself. I shouldn't have shouted at her, and I definitely shouldn't have spilled my guts about my childhood. I've never made a secret about having a crappy time of it, but I've never gone into any of the grubby details before. We salvage an enjoyable couple of hours before I have to leave. Liz fires off a parting shot that has been narrowing my eyes. I take a deep breath and let it go. Her words echo around in my head all the way back to the apartment, though. "Just make sure that man of yours is nothing like his family before you go falling head over heels for him." Slipping into the flat, I'm relieved to be back before Mark. Humming away, I put my new books on the starched white bookshelf in the minimalistic living room. I haven't seen anyone except Mark and the coven for weeks, and meeting Liz and getting out of my own head for a bit is reviving. Liz's gossip about her own relationship has left me wondering why I keep palming Mark off. We've not gone beyond kissing and the odd fumble, and I can tell he's getting impatient. I don't have a good reason for avoiding sleeping with him. I can't really explain my reticence, even to myself. He's intelligent, powerful, rich, very good-looking, and being exceptionally patient with me. It feels daft, but when I'm alone, I'm still far more turned on by the thought of Dirk. The Dirk who now pretends I don't exist. "Freya, who's the man at the front desk?" Mark's voice breaks through my thoughts. I was so caught up in my own head, I didn't even hear him come in. "Who?" A slither of fear grips my throat. He wouldn't have. Surely. The boss wouldn't send someone around here, would he? I turn wild-eyed towards where Mark's finger is jabbing at a grainy figure on the buzzer screen. "The concierge said he slipped in not long after you got home. But he's been there for 20 minutes, badgering to know what apartment a Frère Fay lives in. Who is he? An ex-boyfriend? A lover? Mark's tone is low, dangerously quiet. Peering at the screen, I immediately recognise the slimy asshole who came around to my flat to collect. I'm not behind, damn it. He's no right to be here. Except I half expected it. The boss likes to keep tabs on everyone. Frère, I am waiting. No, Mark, he's not a lover or an ex-boyfriend. He's a slimy, good-for-nothing weasel. Casting around, I desperately tried to think of a story that might work. Something where I don't need to out myself. I'm coming up blank, but if I tell Mark the truth, then all this could be in jeopardy. This new life, my access to the Coven's resources, gone. He won't want his family name tainted with criminal activity. I'm so screwed. I'm not sure I believe you. You look alarmed. You're trying to wriggle out of something. Frère, if you've been seeing someone else, after everything I've done for you... Oh, shut up, Mark. I've not even slept with you yet. You think I'd jump into bed with that stupid, ugly shithead? My explosion shocks us both into silence. I do not appreciate your tone. You owe me an explanation. There's nothing for it now. There's no way I can pass this off as some creepy guy who followed me home now. I have to come clean. Mark's finger presses the intercom. Let him up, Donald. Shit. Okay, Mark, you've made your point, but you might not want to let him in. Hear me out first. Mark just narrows his eyes at me and nods once, slowly. So, my family is poor. Lowlifes, Frère. Your family, they are lowlifes. Bristling with rage, I barge on, aware that it won't take long for the asshole to reach our apartment door. Whatever. My stepdad got in some debt with some bad people. Really bad people. The worst. He was going to settle his debts by whoring my sister out and letting my brother work for the guy. I couldn't let it happen. Mark's brow furrows, but his eyes look less cold. This is not where I thought this was going. Why didn't you tell me this before? I have a lot of influence. His complete lack of negative reaction shocks me. I didn't tell you because it happened well before I met you. And at first you didn't need to know, and then once I'd moved in, I thought I could keep it quiet. Sort it myself. It was stupid. I'm so sorry. I don't want your family's name dragged through my family's shit. Mark laughs. He actually laughs. Ma chérie, there's still so much you need to learn about me and my family. We're witches, not angels. A little shit helps things grow. What? That doesn't even make sense. His face hardens again, and he enunciates each and every word. What exactly are you doing? If you're whoring yourself out to a low-life mobster. No, I'm an artist, Mark. I paint. I can make forgeries, good ones. I can imitate a few specific artists, but the paintings sell like the real thing. The boss, Crumb, he made me sign a contract to produce 50 of them. I'm not even halfway through. Crumb? Oh dear, Frère, you do attract all the wrong people. Mark grabs my chin between his finger and thumb and stares straight into my damn soul. He's not one who can be easily scared off. Never mind. We'll just buy him out. Before I have time to wrap my head around what he's just said, hammering erupts from the front door. Mark flicks his hand at it, and from where he's standing, the door flies open. The slime ball falls into our apartment, stopped only from landing on his face by an invisible force wrapping itself around his neck. He rises up infinitesimally slowly until his feet aren't touching the ground. All the while his hands tear at the air around his throat. I have a message for Victor. He's pissing on the Vaudoux territory. Tell him I will negotiate a price, but this stops, and now. Victor. How the hairy hell does Mark know Crumb's first name? Mark watches the man hanging in the air with a strangely dispassionate expression. He seems completely unperturbed by the fact the guy is turning a horrible shade of purple. I'll tell him, the man gasps out. Mark, stop, that's enough. Mark raises a single delicate eyebrow, and the man flies out of the apartment and smacks against the wall in the hallway with such force he leaves a dent in the plaster. With another flick of his wrist, Mark shuts our door before strutting over to my shroud-covered easel. Pulling away the drape, he considers my nearly finished painting critically. Not bad, my chérie. Almost perfect, in fact. You'll finish it, and it will go in a family collection. A little memento of this escapade. Who'd have thought my innocent little Freya was in fact a counterfeit criminal? How fascinating. Now, what's for dinner? I stare at him, unable to comprehend the change between his icy anger, the unfeeling violence, and then this mundane, everyday banality. Slowly, it sinks in. I no longer owe Crumb. I'm free. My family is free. Flinging myself into Mark's arms, a giant weight lifts off my shoulders. Right now, I don't damn well care what shit his family is into, how he knows Victor Crumb. Right now, I'm going to revel in this. I'm free.